What's going on? Welcome to QVO Games. My name is Juan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. This week's video is going to be about the games coming to retail the week of September 10th. We have some great games. One of these games I've been waiting for a long time. Super excited to talk about it. And another one of these games is a deduction game, and I love deduction games, and they're doing some pretty neat stuff. So let's get this video going. Keep in mind, I am covering the games coming to retail in the US. Also keep in mind, if one of these games release dates gets changed, I'll make sure to update you about that change in its new respective video. Let's get going with these games and show you some fun stuff. Coming out September 11th, it's going to be Romi Rami by Randolph and Hachette Board Games, coming out on September 11th. I said that twice, but Romi Rami is going to be a card game. It's like a modern take on Rummy, the card game that you used to play with a suit of cards. In this game, you're going to have different cards you're going to be collecting, and the cards you're going to be collecting are going to be in sets. For example, you can collect these 4 or those 1s in sets of 3s. Up top, there's going to be contracts you got to fulfill, and these contracts you're fulfilling have different types of conditions. When you complete contracts for points, there's going to be, in case of suits or in case of sequential order, you have to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, have it be 5 cards, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, have it be 6 cards, or there's even going to be just have 5 of the same number cards, the same suit of cards. That's pretty much what it is. On your turn, you're going to choose a group of cards, and you can fulfill a contract at the start of your next turn. Very straightforward, very simple card game. These are always fun, easy to bring to the table, instead of like the heavy Euros that I play sometimes where I have to read a 20-page rulebook and still have to make mistakes while learning the game. Super cool stuff. These card games are good. I enjoy the fact that they're coming out with a lot of these. This is going to be Romi Rami by Randolph Hachette Board Games, coming out on September 11th. Coming up next by Ludonate Games, coming out on September 15th. ArcheOlogic. I'm assuming it's ArcheOlogic. That's kind of the thing, and that's not a 0. That is how we're going to pronounce this, and we're going to keep moving forward. This is a deduction game. You're trying to discover the ancient city in the mountains. But as you're doing that, it's not that easy. You're going to be using and I want to show you this so bad. It looks super cool. You're going to be using this archaeoscope to find the right questions. It reminds me of that game Tiwanaku. I might be saying this game wrong. It reminds me of a different game that uses a type of mechanism, a type of like a little mechanic, little component, and you put something in to find the clues. It kind of reminds me of that, but you can also use an app as well. The game comes with an app you can do, which I'm sure is going to be 10 times easier. Also seems to be friendlier because if you're not using an app or the website, you're going to be using you're going to be eliminated on your first guess. So keep that in mind. Let's go back up a little bit. I just really wanted to show you that, and we're going to get down there here. So in this game, you're going to be looking for the hidden city. It's a competitive deduction game. The first person to figure it out wins the game, right? I'm going to scroll down a little bit. You're going to be using this little map, I guess you can say, and you're going to hide it. And when you're hiding it, you're going to be lining up tiles, and you want to line these tiles very precisely because even the orientation of that tile can mess it up. But you're trying to basically put it on here and try to guess where that city is at. It's going to be like polynomial tiles. And these clues you're going to get, scrolling down a little bit more, is going to be from this tool. You're going to decrypt encoded cards with this tool, and you're going to ask questions, right? You're going to ask questions about the buildings, and you're going to go to the building section, go to the look at it, what it says. Okay, it says there's 4 buildings, and you're going to try to use that information to deduct and guess exactly how the city is placed. Keeping in mind, it's costing you time and actions. Depending on what question you ask, it's going to cost you time. And there's not really a turn order in this game. It's kind of like if you're 3 ahead on time and someone asks like a 1 time point question, they move up 1. Someone asks another question, they can ask another question. It's just whoever is in first, whoever is in last gets to go, basically. So you can kind of pull off some cool combos, I guess, from like you guess like 1 point question, 1 point question, 1 point question. Everyone else guesses 3 point questions. They're moving up a lot ahead. So now you can guess your 3 point question, and you still get to take another turn that gets the question to try to deduct faster, I guess. Keep it in mind though, sometimes those higher point questions can probably give you more information. I love that. I love what they're doing with this. I'm a fan of deduction games, and I love when they're just kind of taking things and pushing to the next level. And I do love the fact it has an application or an app with it just to kind of make things easier. Here are some pictures, some beautiful pictures of the game. I'm excited. I want to play it so bad. I am behind on my list of games I want to play. I am extremely behind. This one's added to the list. I really want to check it out. ArcheOlogic by Ludonate Games, coming out on September 15th. Coming up next, a favorites, but now with a reskin, Dixit Disney Edition, with all the hype around Disney stuff going on right now. And I'm talking about one specific card game. This game is basically just Dixit. If you haven't played Dixit before, it's basically a game where you get a card, and the card is going. You're gonna see a theme, have it be fairies or, in Disney sense, lions or cars, right? And everyone else is going to grab a card that they think matches up to that theme as closely as possible. And I'm gonna scroll down a little bit more here. By the way, beautiful video. If you come to the website to just check this out, it's awesome. It looks gorgeous. They animate the card art, and the card art is beautiful. I think the card art is gorgeous. Here is this. This is what I was looking for here. I was keep on scrolling. You're going to be trying to guess each other's kind of like card or clue kind of thing that's going on there, and you're going to be putting down with cards with the of course the cards are going to have the art, and you're going to be guessing with your kind of storytelling abilities, and you're trying to your best to try to guess the correct clue of the person playing. It's basically Dixit. It's Dixit with Disney slapped on top of it. Keeping in mind the artwork is awesome. I do love what they did with the artwork in this. It just looks so nice. Some of these pictures, I feel like if you're a really big Disney fan, you can like frame them and have them in your living room. Very simple game, straightforward. Dixit Disney Edition coming out to you September 15th. Coming up next, 20 Strong by Chip Theory Games, coming out September 15th. We have a bunch of Friday releases for next week. We didn't have anything, a lot of stuff into the week. 20 Strong is going to be a game that was on crowdfunding, I think about a year ago at this point. And it's actually pretty neat. I was very fortunate to be able to demo this at Origins with the Chip Theory Games team, and I like it. The game reminds me a lot of Escape the Dark Castle. Escape the Dark Castle is a cooperative game. This is only a solo game where you have dice and you're rolling, hoping for specific icons to hit, and you're kind of going through cards, and it just makes a whole story and a narrative as you're playing through, and then you fight the final boss. Similarly-ish, in 20 Strong, you're going to have three sets of cards, and these cards are going to try to go through them with your resource pool of dice. And when you roll the dice, you're aiming to hit specific numbers. Keeping in mind, you have just exhausted that die. That die you cannot use in your next challenge. Your character usually has some type of refresh rate, right? Like, they can generate back 2 dice. So you want to be careful how much you overcommit, and each level of dice has different pips on it. So for example, like the yellow die is like one of the most this is like the cheapest one basically, then blue one, then green, then black. They all kind of get more and more expensive, and there's less of them. Well, not expensive, they all get better, I guess, on the potential of hitting the number you're trying to hit. And then there's also, of course, there's these dice here, the ones with the numbers on them. Those are used more like counters. They're not really rolled. They're more counter. They're just used for like to count specific things, like your upgrades and such. You get upgrades as you go through, and you find different cards. They give you like a backpack, or they give you like an item of some sort that gives you a boost in your attributes, I guess, your numbers that you use. Like for example, how much you can refresh, how many dice you can refresh each turn, or how much health you have. It's really neat. And one thing that really caught my eye, holy smokes, this is crazy, the art is gorgeous. You can barely see it here. Let me see, hopefully the video can capture this, but you can hopefully, like, it's just kind of like the art is so well done, and I hope you can see it with the fact that I'm showing the screen here. If not, I will try to post something up, but I think it's going to be a pretty good view. The art is gorgeous. I love the art. It is awesome. So in this game, it's a single player game, and you're just rolling dice, managing your resource pool, as well as you're doing that, you're trying to find the best pathway to get through the decks. And there's different cards do different things. Like some of them will actually tag another enemy in. So now you're fighting 2 enemies at the same time. And they will actually like hinder you somehow by like taking away a die from you, or making one of your attributes go lower. So you kind of have to look. You don't know what's coming after, right? Like you don't just like be able to look through. You have to like do it, and the next card might be like a card that requires you to attack it specifically. And the cool part is, right, I'm talking about 20 Strong. This is going to be the Sentinels, I almost forgot the name, Solar Sentinels one, right? So that's one type. But if you're a fan of Chip Theory Games, they also have a Too Many Bones version of it, right? So now you have a whole different set of cards to play through. And this includes like this includes all of Too Many Bones S things. It doesn't play exactly like the game in any way, shape, or form like the Too Many Bones. They're just grabbing the IP or the properties and they're just kind of bringing it in and making it into 20 strong fashion. But if if Too Many Bones maybe it's not your game, you can play the Hopalong's Victorian version of the game, which includes in, and you don't think like it's not just like a reskin. They do throw in like a couple of new mechanics to make it different, and they do make it in a way where it relates to the game somehow, right? Like it's not just like throw like the properties, throw like the art on it and call it a day. No, like they actually do try to incorporate some fun stuff from like their other game into this, and of course in the 20 strong fashion in their rule set. All three things, I think that I cannot wait for these. I do have, they should be coming in soon, hopefully within the next 2-3 weeks, and I'll have some coverage on this. I am super, super excited for 20 Strong, Hopalong's, all these. I'm excited for all these. They do have a crowdfunding campaign coming up in 2 months, actually in 2 days, I believe, or within the next quarter, that they're going to release some more decks. So they're kind of expanding on this universe, so you always have something new to play. It's interesting, it's cool, I dig it. One thing I do hope and wish they add is like a 2-player variant. That would just put the icing on the whole game. The whole game would be so much better for me if they just put a 2-player variant and you can play like 2 players while playing. That would change everything for me. I would be over the moon about this game. I still like it. It's a solo game and I don't mind that. It's just I feel like the game at 2 players would blow me away. Like I would have so much fun. So much more fun than it already is. All right, let's wrap up. 20 strong, Hopalong's Victorium, 20 strong, Too Many Bones, and Solar Sentinels is coming out to you September 15th by Chip Theory Games. And we are at the end of the video. Super exciting stuff. I think some awesome hits coming out this week. Last week as well, we had some really cool games. And this week as well, 20 strong and ArcheOlogic, Romi Rami, a card game, and Dixit Disney. If you like Disney, if you're a big Disney fanatic, man, awesome stuff. I am so excited. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you for making it this far. That is awesome. That is amazing that you're listening to me, and you just a random dude from Las Vegas who loves board games and loves games in general. I just want to share that passion with somebody and talk to someone about it. So thank you for listening and watching the whole video. Helps the channel a lot. Helps us grow the community. I appreciate it. If you don't mind dropping a comment, drop, like, subscribe. I said that in a completely different order than I should have. And yeah, that'd be awesome to just help us grow and let us know that we're doing a good job. Let me know. I say us all the time. To me, letting me know that I'm doing a good job and we should keep making these videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate it and have a good one.